Hello and welcome to this guide from Sarcastic Factory on how to make process music. The first thing you need to make this kind of process music is a melody. Here is my melody. Welcome to meme culture. Here's step 2. Step 2 is duplication. So in the 60s and the 50s, when all of this stuff was going down, you'd have to use one of these. No, you'd have to use 2 of these fine bad boys in order to create the duplication effect. One of these tape machines would run a slight bit slower, and over time the music would get further and further behind, hence the process. Here in 2018, it's really simple to do that. You just select that, paste that. Oh, yeah, that's... wow, we've come such a long way. That's amazing. Okay, step 3. So I mentioned that one of the samples is going to be a little bit shorter than the other, but before we do that, what I'm going to do is repeat these units that we have. I'm going to repeat them 4 times because humans love listening to music in 4s. And it's also going to give us a chance to appreciate for longer the subtle changes that occur as this process goes on. There we go, just consolidated that. Wow, that's great. Okay, step 4. So in step 4 is the delicate bit. This is where in the olden days they would have had one tape machine which was running at a slightly slower speed than the other. Here we're going to get around that by just lopping the end off one of our samples. It's not a perfect copy of phasing because in the olden days every single one of the units would have been slightly slower, and here it's only groups of 4 units that are slightly slower, but it will achieve a very similar effect. So step 5 is the process, and actually interestingly there are 5 different kinds of processes as defined by this dude called Michael Nyman. The ones that we are looking at today are 4, repetition process, because we're going to be repeating our units many times in order to go through the process, and also number 5 because this is electronic and we don't have a tape machine because I'm cheap, so it's electronic. Alright, let's have a look at what repetition looks like. Okay, so as you can see I'm circling there, which is just showing you that one of the samples is indeed shorter than the other. And it's just going to keep going for a bit. And we have to repeat it a lot more times than that in order to go through the process, because the idea is that... I'll explain it later. You'll see. Okay, so after a lot of tedious work from me, which is for you like 5 seconds, here's what it looks like. This is the start of the piece. As you can see, the waveforms are nicely aligned, but if we zoom out, we can see that I have repeated it a lot of times. Yes, I'm very tired, I'm very sweaty, this took a long time, but that's my completed process piece. It's about 18 minutes long, and as you can see, just as the waveforms at the start were aligned, the waveforms at the end are aligned as well. Oh, look at that, gesturing with the cursor. It's 2006. But if we look towards the middle of the piece, we can see, oh, the waveforms aren't aligned. So this process music takes a melody, a unit, shortens one of them, and repeats it until it becomes fully out of phase, and then keeps repeating it until it becomes in phase again. I humbly apologize, but I'm not going to play you the entire process piece within this video, as it's 18 minutes long. I wanted to keep this video bite-sized, succinct. So, in the description, and if you click on the screen, if I'm not lazy, then you'll find a link to the completed process piece for you to listen to. This is an example of process music. I am Sarcastic Factory, and now you know how to do it.